Hey everyone, welcome back to the Koi Bodyguard channel. Just thought I'd post up a little video of a couple of bits and pieces that I want to go through and talk about. The first one is thanks for any of the comments that people have sent me about my head and what I had done up there. But yeah, everything's gone well. I've had all the stitches out and I'm left with a bit of a scar there and still a little tiny bit of swelling. Got no feeling here at the minute, but we'll see how that comes back over time. Just to share the experience I've had with that, I did find that I had a small blemish on my skin there that didn't seem to want to go away, and so I had it checked out, and it did turn out to be a form of skin cancer. Thankfully, a non-aggressive form of skin cancer. Now that the results have come back from the lab, but just to say to anybody, if you've got anything like that you find, you see, go to your GP, get it checked out. It's worth doing. It's got to be worth doing. So anyway, doctor's surgery over. We'll get on with a few bits and pieces. I'm sure that quite a few of you would have seen Vince at Twisted Koi's video from the New Forest on Saturday, where we did a netting and a sort out of the carp and a smaller silverfish in their syndicate lake. What a fantastic experience. Never done that before. Very nearly went in myself fully under, but I did manage to stop myself. Absolutely fantastic. Some of the fish in there are in such good condition. You know, I've been fishing for many years, and you go to a lot of the fishing lakes where they allow anybody in on a day ticket and what have you, and you can see the fish have been caught so many times that they end up in very poor condition. But these fish, because they're syndicate down there, that it's only certain people are allowed to go and fish there, they're caught a lot less than they would be at a normal you know, day ticket type operation, and so the fish are in very good condition, pristine. It was interesting to see that there were some koi that came out of there. I think we had about 13 asagis came out of that bottom lake. And what's happened is the asagis would have started up in a lake higher up in on the land there at New Forest, and each lake drains into the other down to the final one at the bottom, which then drains out and away. And so the asagi have made their way down through the drain pipes, and actually they've thrived in the fishing lake, and it's quite amazing to see that there were koi mixed in with these, and have survived very well. There weren't quite so many of the big roach that we were hoping to see in there. There were a few, but a lot of those have been picked off by cormorants, herons, and what have you. So, but it was a successful day. The lake was slimmed down because they wanted to keep the bigger fish in there for the syndicate fishermen, and move on some of the smaller carp over to some other fisheries that are going to take them on. So it was a great experience. I'd love to get involved in netting a koi pond next time. That would be great fun. So fingers crossed they'll invite me back. So that'll be absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to do today is, in a moment, I'm going to go down to the pond and I'm going to check the pond temperature. I mean, obviously we've had a lot of cold weather recently, so I think that's worth doing. Let's get down there, check out the temperature, and then I'll come back to you when I've got a reading from that. So cheers, guys. Okay, so we're down at the main pond now, and I've had the thermometer in there for about 5 minutes. So I'll quickly flip you around and we'll have a look at what the reading's at. We just got that right now. Let's have a look. It's not as cold as I thought it was going to be, actually. It's 6 degrees, so we got a 6-degree temperature. So clearly that's at the point where we don't want to be feeding anymore. We're, you know, beyond the point of being able to do any treatments if there's any issues, because most of that, I think, is 12 degrees plus. You can see the fish still coming up to the surface, still saying I'm hungry, but I haven't been feeding them, which is a bit of a shame because, as everyone knows, I had a bit of a new pond syndrome going on this year with having the liner changed in January. So the fish haven't eaten as much because of the nitrite issues I had with this. Let me just flip you back around. And so I had to back off the feeding all through the summer just to get just to get everything working properly and allow the filter to catch up, which it has done now, which is really good. Yeah, so we've backed off feeding. In fact, I've not fed them for probably the last week now, even though they're still begging for food. It's so tempting just to give them something, but I've been kind of backing off from that. Some of the other things that have been a discussion point. I mean, it was on Perky's video last night, in that you know, some people turn their waterfalls off during the winter. I've never done that. In the 10 years I've had this pond, I've left everything running all year round. Never had any adverse issues from that. Like I say, this year, after changing the liner, was the first year I've had any issues with any water quality problems or anything like that. So I always leave the waterfall running. It might chill the water a little bit, but bear in mind I've got 8 foot down to the bottom here. You know, this is a 6,800 gallon pond. And plus it actually stops it from freezing over there with the moving water. I think the other issue for me is I don't have a bypass on that. My filter goes, the outlet goes straight onto the waterfall, and that's my outlet. So if I switch a waterfall off, I've got no filtration system. At some point in the future, I might put a bypass in there, but as it's not ever caused me a problem so far, I probably won't. I'll probably leave it as it is. You know, it's I don't think it does any harm for my pond at all. So waterfall, UV, and the air will stay on for me, and hopefully everything will be absolutely perfect over the winter. So what we'll do now is we'll quickly take a walk up to the shed, and we'll go and have a quick look at how the grow-on fish are doing in there. That should be sat at about 18 degrees in there at the moment. So I'll flip you around and we'll head up into the shed. Yep, race car bits. Right, let's get in here, shut the door, keep the warm in, get the light on. And so a quick peep, they'll probably all freak out when I lift that up. But yeah, all the fish are good. The automatic feeder is working brilliantly. So the little device that Vince gave me with the worm gear drive on it feeds the fish every 2 hours. So that is working brilliantly. The vat is, what are we at? 17.8 degrees in there. I did drop that down a little bit, only because I don't think it was worth keeping it on at a higher temperature. I think 18 degrees is fine. The fish are feeding, they're all happy. Just on a quick note, I will have another pond project going on soon. Let me just flip you around. So up here is where I've got a decking and an old hot tub up there that just doesn't get used anymore. And so I would likely build myself another pond and maybe a filter house up there, something along those lines. There's plenty of room there, and I think that'll be a nice location for an extra pond. So that's a plan for maybe next summer, maybe the year after. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I'd like to do it because, like I said, I need to move a few of these fish on now, or put them into a different pond. So we'll see what happens there. Right, back in the warm. That is, although it's not as cold as it has been, it's still pretty chilly outside. What I'll quickly do is I'll show you the 2 little aquariums that I've got here with some small koi in, and then we can go from there. So let me just turn you around the other way. So these are the aquariums. So I've got a smaller one and a slightly larger one. And in the smaller one here, these are from the Frankenstein pond at Twisted Towers. So we've got a Sankey in there. Maybe that's a Showa, not sure. There's two Asagis and a Goshki in there. So they're quite happy. They've been in there a few days now after picking them up from Vince's. Kindly given to me to grow on and see what we can do with them. And then in the slightly bigger tank here, they're a bit shy. They're all crowded in the corner. We've got a few fish in there. There's some really nice fish in there actually. There's a little small Ginrin Chagoi sat there, who's really quite cool. Lovely Yamabuki right there, Ginrin Yamabuki. There is also hiding under there is a Kinshowa under the filter, and somewhere around the back there is also a Deutz Aragoki Shiro, which I think is going to actually be a cracking little fish. Unfortunately, it doesn't want to come out and show itself at the moment, which is sad. What I feed these guys on is the New Forest Koi Vitality pellet. I have some smaller ones, and I have these ones, which I think are the 3 mil, are they 3 or 6? 6 mil ones, and I do actually grind those down in my little pestle and mortar there to make it a little bit finer. But I also put a few of the bigger chunks in as well for the slightly bigger fish. Little Goshki there, look. Yeah, so these guys are all thriving in here. At some point they're going to get a little bit too big for these tanks, and I'll have to move them out into the vat. Obviously I want to avoid any issues with sleepy sickness and stuff like that, so we'll have to wait until their immune systems are a bit better. In fact, Vince has got a slightly bigger tank than this one that is going to come here, and we're going to transfer these guys into that, and then these guys into that. So that should help quite a bit. So I showed you the vat up in the shed. I did a video a little while ago of unboxing and putting the Haiger heater in that. And that is a fantastic little heater. So if anyone needs a heater for a small grow on vat or tank or whatever, that is absolutely perfect. Easy to control. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'm really pleased I changed over from the other one and put the Haiger in there. So that was excellent. For those of you that are into your racing, by the way, I'm sure you've seen this picture quite a few times in a few of my videos. Let me just turn this around. This is it's a print, but a limited edition print of the Silver Arrows from back in the day when Sterling Moss and Manuel Fangio were driving for the team. This is an old print and actually has been signed by both Sterling Moss and Fangio, which is absolutely fantastic. I was really pleased to be able to purchase that from the guy that had the two drivers sign them. So there you go, a little bit for the motorsport guys. Another one I've got here is from the Goodwood revival from this year. This is the 1965 championship winning Lotus 33 of Jim Clark, that's actually owned by a friend of mine's family. A friend of mine sadly passed away from cancer, but his family still own the car. And this is the legendary Colin Chapman's son, Clive, who I know, and invited me down to come and see the car close up. And that was an absolutely fantastic day. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff. I'll show you a couple more. This one is also Fangio in the Maserati 250F, and again signed by the man himself. I've also got Tony Brooks and Sterling Moss, who drove in the Van Walls together, and again that's signed by both the drivers. And one of my favourites here, Jackie Stewart in the Tyrrell, again signed by Jackie Stewart. Now, I've got one for the football fans as well. Look, 1966 World Cup, signed by two of the players. I think there's only one of them surviving now, Jeff Hurst, but there we go. Just a little bit of sports stuff for you. So sorry about that. But so just a couple of final little bits. This is the little worm drive automatic fish feeder that I've got running on the vat up there. I did buy another one. You just screw in a standard size Coke bottle, water bottle, whatever you want onto that, cut the bottom off, and then that's your hopper. And then this just plugs into a standard UK 3-pin plug adapter for a USB. And then you connect to it with the Smart Life app on an iPhone or an Android, and you can program it to feed whenever for however long you want at a time. And I found that to be a really smart little bit of kit. So if I remember, I'll put a link to where I got that from down in the description. So if anyone is interested in buying that, it's only about 30 quid. It's definitely worth having. I also want to do a big shout out to a couple of new YouTubers we've got in our community, and that's Jay and Connor, father and son, who have a new YouTube channel called Gassed About Koi. Absolutely fantastic guys. I've met them quite a few times now, and they are good fun, really good fun guys. Connor himself, he's got a clothing brand called Gassed, and he very kindly gave me a beanie, and it's really good quality. So please get over to those guys, give them a help. They've only got a couple of videos up so far, but let's get them, let's encourage them, let's get them to get more content out, and that's what we all want to see. So that's absolutely brilliant. Another guy that I've met quite a few times now, all the way from Scotland, is Alex Britton. He started up his YouTube channel, so which is Rising Sun Koi. I'll just quickly flip you around and show you it on my screen here. So that's Alex's YouTube. It's actually, I think you have to search for Alex Britton, and then it's got Rising Sun Koi on the bottom of his videos. So if you could please get over to him as well and give him a like, share, subscribe. And then I just want to say another big shout out to Vince Twisted Koi. He got me involved down at New Forest for the Saturday day trip down there. Brilliant. Perky at Koi Services, thank you so much, mate, for keep plugging my channel. I really appreciate it. Dave, Rocket Boy Koi, exactly the same, plugs my channel. Thank you so much. So I'm sure all my subscribers are already subscribers of their channels, but if you're not, please go and have a look and get subscribed to them as well. And finally, I jumped on an auction last night that My Boys Koi were doing, and I have to say I've witnessed a few auctions now, and I'm not including New Forest's one in this, but some other online auctions that I've witnessed and just never bought fish from, but just watched along, and I found that My Boys Koi's auction was the best one I've ever seen. It was so fair, and there were some real bargains to be had on there. So they will probably be having some more auctions coming up shortly. So please get on there and have a look and see what they're producing. These are fish that are being imported from Japan. They've got another shipment coming in, I think, shortly. So yeah, get onto that. I also know that Darryl at Koi Heaven has got another shipment coming in shortly, and he will be having some auctions coming up as well. So keep an eye out for that. But I think that's about all from me for now. So I really appreciate you watching. Please hit the like. Please share, subscribe if you haven't. That really helps me out. And I will come back to you soon with the next video. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. See ya.